Britain has a reputation for being a nation of gentlemen, and I am no exception. But are we really that gentlemanly?
From Galway.
I came to Bath, the nation's gentleman hotspot, to see if this was really the case.
Abroad, there is a perception of British men as being very gentlemanly. Do you agree with that stereotype?
It varies very much. I think some Englishmen need to learn a lot of manners.
I think sometimes some of the younger ones are more well-mannered.
Yes.
Than, I think it's the middle-aged range group that are not quite so well-mannered.
British people like to think they're gentlemanly. I think the press quite often does fall into two stereotypes. You've got the football hooligan sort of lot, and then you've got the Hugh Grant
foppish, charming, swoon.
And that's kind of maybe a class thing, which I think British people are really aware of. I think that's reinforced in films and that sort of thing.
I think they're just as gentlemanly as people abroad. You know, I've had very friendly, nice people abroad, some of them not so much. It's exactly the same here in Britain.
Well, I actually live abroad. I live in Australia, so I think that they're probably better than Australian males. I think Australian males are particularly rough and ready, really. Their national dress is thongs and board shorts.
It's a bit of a game of two halves. So sometimes, absolutely, we like to hold open doors, we like to buy drinks for people, and generally be decent people. However, there is a certain element who are less than perfectly behaved, and we like our beers and probably make a bit too much noise.
I think there's probably some truth in it, yeah, certainly. But perhaps over a certain age, I don't know, there's a bit of an old-fashioned sense of gentlemanliness, if that's a word. Yeah, I certainly hope it's true anyway.
Definitely.
Yes, yes, oh yes, yes. Well, because I feel that the British man is really far superior to any other gentleman abroad. We wear a nice small handkerchief on our heads, to avoid the sunshine, and we allow our wives to pamper us.
What's the most ungentlemanly act you've witnessed in the UK?
I mean, the dick pic's a classic, isn't it? What do they want from that?
Nobody wants to see them.
Well, no. Do they think they're being gentlemanly? Do they think we don't laugh about it in the pub? Do they? Do they not think we do?
I'm looking down the camera. We do.
We do.
Well, they were Englishmen on a plane coming from Germany.
And they were excessively rude about their personal habits, shall we say.
Loud, drunk,
Yes.
uncouth. We complained bitterly and afterwards, but nothing happened, of course. But that was the worst experience of our lives.
It was unpleasant. It was very unpleasant.
I think I've seen a guy kind of drive his car right through a puddle, and this person on the sidewalk was completely soaked. I feel like that's pretty ungentlemanly.
You're taxi drivers.
Oh.
I'm sorry, but they seriously have to be the bottom of the rung. Wouldn't touch my case, wanted to be paid cash, which I didn't have any, and yeah, he was a tad rude.
I'd say sometimes when people can't find the toilets, they might use the street, potentially.
I mean, there's a lot of sort of antisocial behaviour you see now and again, spitting in the street, that kind of thing. That's, it could be a bit more gentlemanly, I suppose.
What's the most ungentlemanly act you've witnessed?
Oh, no. Oh, I must leave on that.
Oh, most ungentlemanly, yes. You're asking the wrong questions, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I think...
What's the most gentlemanly act you've witnessed?
Well, no, I think that the most gentlemanly act is when we share ourselves among women.
Mm-hmm. What advice would you give somebody that wanted to become more gentlemanly?
Breeches.
Wet
shirt breeches.
We're outside the Jane Austen Centre. We're in Bath. Stick on a wet shirt and some boots.
Be respectful of women as people and people as people. If you're respectful, that makes you a man.
Call your mother.
Call your mother.
Dress nice, for God's sake. I think being thoughtful too is really important. Yeah, you don't have to be sort of overly sort of gracious towards women, but it really does help to be a little bit thoughtful.
You should just always think about what that other person would want, and how they would like to be treated. So put yourself in their shoes.
So I think it is a question of respect, and being polite. And that is what gentlemanliness is about. It's being polite. And it's the same with women.
Yeah.
Equally.
Yes.
To be polite to people. To consider other people.
And women can be uncouth too.
Oh, yes. Indeed. Very.
I mean, I don't think it's about being a gentleman. I think it's just about being a nice person. So maybe focus on that and, you'll do all right.
Watch a lot of old movies. Yeah, dress like this. Try and be a good person, I suppose. Hold the door open for people and just say hello, please, and thank you, and just try and be nice to people. Essentially, you can't go wrong with that.
To be open in your relationship, to make sure that you're kind to all, especially your wife, and especially your mistress.
Thank you very much. Is it all right if we upload this onto YouTube?
Yes, of course it is. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Join me in my next video where Tom gives a thought-provoking review of a Cornish pasty.
Yeah, it's alright.